Hey everyone, imagine spending 40 years, forcing millions of people to worship. You like a god, you build golden palaces, you wear a chest full of fake medals. You make the whole world tremble. But here is the funny thing about death. It doesn't care about your ego. Some of these Iron Men went out fighting like gangsters in an action movie. Others died crying in a sewer pipe or hiding in a bunker like a rat. Today, we aren't just telling their stories. We are judging their final moments. From legendary justice to the ultimate Darwin Award. Let's see who died like a boss and who died like a coward. First on the list, Benito Mussolini, the man who wanted to rebuild the Roman Empire. By 1945, the war was lost. Instead of fighting for Rome, he tried to escape to Switzerland disguised as a drunk German soldier in a coat. He was hiding in the back of a truck. But it didn't work. Partisans found him. And he wasn't alone. He was with his mistress, Clara Petacci. They were executed against a villa wall. But the story doesn't end there. Their bodies were taken to a gas station in Milan. The angry crowd treated him like a piñata. They hung him upside down so everyone could see that the god of war was just a dead man. Verdict. The people he oppressed got the final hit. That is legendary. Next is Joseph Stalin. He spent his life making everyone terrified of him. He sent millions to the gulag and executed anyone who looked at him wrong. Here is the irony. He had just arrested his best doctors because he thought they were trying to kill him. So, when he had a massive stroke in his room, he was all alone. His guards heard him fall, but they were so terrified of entering his room without permission that they waited for hours. He lay on the rug in his own urine, helpless. When doctors finally arrived, they were shaking with fear. Verdict. He created the fear that eventually killed him. Dying alone because you killed your own doctors? That is Darwin Award. Then we have Adolf Hitler. In April 1945, the Soviet army was just a few blocks away from his bunker. The 1,000-year Reich was burning above his head. But Hitler didn't want to face justice. He didn't want to stand trial. He hid in a hole underground, married his girlfriend Eva Braun, and had a final meal. Then, he bit into a cyanide capsule and shot himself in the head simultaneously. He even ordered his guards to burn his body so nobody could celebrate over his corpse. Verdict. He rage-quit the game before the final boss fight. He denied the world the satisfaction of seeing him in handcuffs. That is a coward's move. Embarrassing. Moving on to Muammar Gaddafi. He called himself the King of Kings of Africa. He had female bodyguards, golden pistols, and slept in luxury tents. But in 2011, his luck ran out. NATO jets struck his convoy as he tried to flee. Wounded and desperate, the king crawled into a dirty drainage pipe under the road full of trash. When the rebels found him, he was bewildered. He was begging, asking, "What did I do to you?" The video of his capture is chaotic. The crowd did not show mercy. Verdict. From golden palaces to a sewer pipe. That is the definition of embarrassing. Next is Saddam Hussein, the Iron Fist of Iraq. After the US invasion, he vanished. For months, the most wanted man on earth was missing. Where was he? American troops found him in a tiny hole in the ground near a farmhouse, a spider hole. It was barely big enough for one person. He had a pistol with him, but he didn't use it. He just surrendered. The man who projected ultimate strength was found looking like a homeless Santa Claus. He was later hanged on live TV. Verdict. Getting caught in a hole with a chocolate bar and $700 without firing a shot? He joins Gaddafi in embarrassing. Now, Nicolae Ceaușescu of Romania. This man starved his country to pay off debts while building the biggest palace in the world. In December 1989, he gave a speech from his balcony. He expected applause like always. But for the first time, the crowd started booing him. You can see the shock on his face. The moment he realized his power was gone. He tried to flee by helicopter, but the pilot faked an engine failure and landed. The army switched sides immediately. On Christmas Day, after a 2-hour trial, soldiers shot him and his wife against a toilet wall. They hated him so much they didn't even wait for the command to fire. Verdict. A Christmas gift to the whole nation. Quick and deserved. Legendary. Let's go to the Caribbean. Rafael Trujillo. El Jefe. He was obsessed with his image. He wore expensive makeup and medals he didn't earn. He renamed the capital city after himself. But in 1961, he was driving down a dark highway in his blue Chevrolet Bel Air. Suddenly, 7 assassins blocked the road. It wasn't a political arrest. It was a gangster shootout. Trujillo grabbed his machine gun and started shooting back. He fought until he collapsed on the asphalt. His car ended up with 60 bullet holes. Verdict: he lived like a mob boss and died like a mob boss in an action movie. I'll put him in honorable. Next is Hideki Tojo, the architect of Japan's war. When American soldiers surrounded his house to arrest him, he decided to end it. He told a doctor to mark the exact spot of his heart with charcoal so he wouldn't miss. He shot himself in the chest and missed. He missed his own heart. The Americans rushed in, gave him a blood transfusion, and saved his life, just so they could put him on trial and hang him legally later. Verdict: imagine failing at dying when you have a map drawn on your chest. That is a skill issue. Darwin Award. Finally, Franco from Spain. His death wasn't quick. It was a slow-motion horror story. In 1975, he fell into a coma. But his regime wasn't ready for him to die. So, doctors used every machine possible to keep him alive against nature. For weeks, the Generalissimo was technically a zombie. They kept restarting his heart, operating on him. He effectively rotted alive while the government pretended everything was fine. Verdict: he just wanted to die, but they wouldn't let him. That is just unlucky. So that is the final ranking. The S tier is full of justice, and the embarrassing tier is pretty crowded too. Did I miss anyone? Should we do ancient tyrants next? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more doses of history. Class dismissed.